We continue our team coverage of major flooding across multiple communities in our region. Today, News 5's Liam Bridgman was in Roan Mountain and tells us what he saw in that part of Carter County earlier today.
We're here in Roan Mountain where you can see behind me a massive flooding event, homes and cars underwater, and everyone here is just trying to stay safe. More than 15 families have found shelter at Cloudland High School, but the destruction in Roan Mountain is devastating. The water levels came up quick, leaving many without options. Emergency officials tell us rescue and recovery efforts will continue as long as necessary.
Yeah, we want everybody to stay off the roads right now. Our responders, our highway department, our electric company, everybody is out to full force. Every team is out. So we're working just as hard as we can. We know we're going to have power outages the rest of the night.
The water level quickly rose around the community and many were forced to evacuate, including Stephanie King.
So my other half actually got called into work because he works for housing development in Avery County, and it was bad up there and got worse before it got bad here. And then the alarm started going off at the fire department.
King says now it's a waiting game.
I mean, hopefully the water will go down quickly is all I can hope for, and hopefully we can go back home and kind of try to go back to a normal. But if not, I guess we'll stay here until it's over.
The extent of the damage in Roan Mountain is still unclear. Emergency crews say everyone should stay off the roads unless it's absolutely necessary. In Roan Mountain, Liam Bridgman, News 5, WCYB.
Over 50 people were stranded on the roof of the Unicoi County Hospital earlier today. We have team coverage of this really historic day around the region. We're going to start with News 5's Preston Ayers, who is in Unicoi County with the latest details on the hospital rescue. Preston.
Hey, Casey, I want to give you a little bit of an idea of what it looks like right here. This is the Nolichucky River behind me, and you can see just how large it is. But to get an idea of how deep it is, just a moment ago, we watched as the roof of a building popped up out of that water, then disappeared back behind it. We have no idea where it went from there. You can see a couple of RVs that have been swept away. That's Riverview Baptist Church. This is a flood that is like no other. I talked with the sheriff earlier. You can probably hear the Black Hawk helicopters still flying over. This is a historic event for Unicoi County. An hours-long rescue operation unfolding in Unicoi County Friday after floodwaters of the Nolichucky River surrounded Unicoi County Memorial Hospital, trapping staff and patients inside.
It came in on the hospital. We had patients in the hospital. The chief of police, along with my nephew Josh Hollis and some more, was able to get the patients to the top floor and on the roof. And I was very concerned that we was going to lose the hospital.
When local crews realized they couldn't reach the hospital by land, the sheriff called in for more resources from the state.
FEMA, they've been on board with us, the EMA director here. I personally called the governor, talked to Governor Lee. He assured me anything that I needed, he'd get on the phone and get some resources up here.
2 Black Hawk helicopters and 2 helicopters from Virginia State Police called to the scene to shuttle the more than 60 people off of the hospital roof, taking them to Unicoi County High School and back into the waiting arms of friends and family who have been worried about them. While the damage here is severe, it's not the worst in Unicoi County.
I've got deputies on the south end of the county checking the residents, checking everybody, make sure they're okay. There's no power, no public water, so we're going to be needing some generators and we're going to be needing some water.
The flood damage in Unicoi County described as catastrophic.
We've lost the main bridge in Chestnut Pike. We've lost the interstate bridge. It's collapsed. The interstate right now is completely closed off. Temple Hill Road, every access to the south end of the county is closed right now. Maybe when the water recedes and we check the pavement, we'll get it back opened up.
This area is known as the Valley Beautiful, and if you look up the Valley Beautiful right now, there's some areas where a lot of unknown continues right now. That's the Flag Pond, Temple Hill areas, a lot of question of what damage may still be there. A lot of those areas still hard to reach at this point. When I was talking with Sheriff Mike Hensley, who I've known for many years, I asked him simply, Sheriff, at this point, what does your county need the most? His answer was very simple, one word, and that is prayers. Cleanup here is going to take a long time, and they are going to need a lot of help to make it happen. Live in Unicoi County, Preston Ayers, News 5, WCYB.
I'm here live in Hampton, Tennessee, where just a few hours ago, where I'm currently standing, and everything that you see behind me was covered in water. The community is deeply affected by the damages from Helene, and so they decided to open up a shelter at elementary school. And this is what they had to tell me about moving forward. High wind speeds and downpour moved throughout our region, causing flooding that left damage in its wake.
We live in an RV park, and there's nothing for us there. Like the water was already up, the campers were rocking back and forth.
Amanda Milam evacuated her home along with her husband, 7 kids, and dog. She tells me they had no other option.
Nervous, stressed, anxious. I've never had to go through this. I come from a place that gets flooded, but not like this. So, and I've got kids who are sick, so it just makes it so much harder on me as a parent. I know.
To help, Carter County officials transformed the gym at Hampton Elementary School into a shelter.
We've got food, we've got towels, we've got blankets, we've got water, we've got anything that they'll need, and we also have a place for the pet.
County leaders say they have the capacity to hold anyone in the surrounding counties who is in need of a safe place to stay. EMS leaders tell me they've been working around the clock.
You got to make sure everybody's coordinated, to do the command center, here, and to communicate with our rescue personnel out in the field.
Those affected say they're now facing challenges they could have never expected.
We're probably going to have to go back to living in a motel like we did for a year. And that's just really sad with 7 kids because they deserve everything. And we just got moved into the RV park. So we're going to be starting all over again.
Officials tell me that their main goal is to keep the community safe, and they're going to try to do that the best that they can moving forward. Reporting live from Hampton, Tennessee, Johnny Nordello, News 5, WCYB.
The flooding in our region has devastated roadways, making travel impossible in some areas. News 5's Rebecca Pepin joins us live off of Interstate 26 to bring us the latest on the road conditions there. Rebecca.
Hey, Casey, I have an update for you. I'm going to have Tim pan off into the distance. You can see the green exit sign there. That is the exit to the hospital where dozens of people were trapped on the roof of the Unicoi County Hospital. Well, earlier, Casey, the water was all the way up to the bottom of that sign. You can see the Nolichucky River is definitely receding. Now, it's not making the road passable at all. It is still very dangerous in this area. This is Erwin, Tennessee. I-26 eastbound and westbound in this area, not passable. In fact, I've heard that one of the bridges on I-26 has washed away. I've not been able to confirm which bridge, but I will let you know as soon as that becomes available. Obviously, cleanup and the repairs are going to be lengthy. But good news, the Nolichucky is receding, so that is at least a beginning. And hopefully you can have a better view now because some of the law enforcement vehicles have moved out of this area. I will bring you more information as it becomes available, but meanwhile, I'm going to send it out to Kristen Kwan.
As we continue our team coverage monitoring flood damage around the region, let's check in with Carter County again. Johnny Nordello earlier in Hampton. Now, News 5's Kristen Kwan joins us from Elizabethan with an update on conditions there. Kristen.
Well, Casey, I've been downtown here in Elizabethan for a couple of hours now, and we have seen the water levels to start to die down, but you can see behind me, it is still flooded here in Elizabethan. We are downtown, turning in like you would turn to go to the Carter County Sheriff's Office. You can see this home right here behind us, this historic home. I talked to the homeowner earlier today. She tells me obviously very upset about the damages that the house that happened to the house here, but thankfully everyone was okay. No one was seriously hurt, but at the time the water was extremely high right here, and you can still see the flooding right here. Some of these trees still under. John's going to pan over so you can see this power pole, this light pole that fell at one point. So the storm here was just so strong. This is like driving down to go towards the covered bridge. We were going to try to show you the covered bridge, but at this time, this roadway is kind of blocked off right now. You can still see some cars going through the water here. This is what we tell you not to do, though, because you just don't know what's under the water here. Even if your car can make it through, we have seen trucks come through and pull up debris out of this water. So just to give you an example right here, I mean, check out this tire that came out of the water. As far as there's also a metal grate, like a metal door that they pushed out of this water here. So it's extremely dangerous when you see these roads. You just never know what could be under them. So you definitely need to be careful. Of course, law enforcement here advising people, if you don't have to get out, to stay at home while they work to clean up this area. The water still rushing past Food City and Carter County Bank down towards Broad Street and 19E, and that portion is blocked off too. So really, again, if you can, stay at home and be safe out there. But for now, of course, we're going to keep you updated on the situation here in Carter County and Elizabethan and bring you the latest on air and online. Reporting live in Elizabethan, I'm Kristen Kwan, News 5 WCYB.
Emergency management officials working tirelessly to rescue stranded residents during today's flooding. News 5's Lauren Bradford caught up with a woman who was able to escape the floodwaters today.
I am here in Damascus, Virginia. Me and sports anchor reporter Cole Johnson made our way here to Damascus. On our way here, we did run into some bumps along the road. We had some trees and some debris, as well as a bunch of water making its way, starting to creep onto some of those roads. We took 421 and 133. Both of those roads were affected. Finally, we were able to reach Damascus. As you can see right now, there's some flooding behind me, some emergency vehicles behind me. That flooding used to be a lot worse. It's definitely died down a little bit. We spoke to first responders. They did say that they've done quite a few rescues out here today, including one where we had the opportunity to actually talk to a couple from Maryland who's in town for a 100-mile race. They actually got rescued from a house that they were staying at right here on this main strip of Damascus.
The house decided to collapse onto our cars, and we climbed out the window onto a pickup truck, and when that started kind of moving around, we climbed onto the roof of the Jeep next to it, and we sat there for a couple of hours while they tried to figure out how to rescue us. Not what we planned for our weekend, but it's a good story.
As I said earlier, the water has started to recede a bit. There are still first responders on scene working to help with traffic and other concerns, but we will make sure to keep you updated with the latest that we know about what is going on in Damascus. But for now, reporting from that main street, I'm Lauren Bradford.
Today's strong winds damaged the It's Bristol Baby sign outside Bristol Motor Speedway. News 5's Natalia Hillen is at the Speedway to bring us the latest conditions there. Natalia.
Bristol Motor Speedway to check on the damage that has been done to the It's Bristol Baby sign. As you can see behind me, the letters are behind the sign due to the strong winds from Tropical Storm Helene. And earlier today, I was on my way to the emergency storm shelter in Mountain City when all of a sudden trees were blocking my path on both sides of the mountain. With strong winds and heavy rain picking up on Friday morning from Tropical Storm Helene. While I was waiting for another WCYB crew to come get me, I drove past two residents in Shady Valley along Highway 133. They were cleaning up debris along the side of the road. Andrew Huffman was helping his neighbor, Mike Ivy, clean up.
I was just hanging around the house, and then I realized that I guess about 3 trees had fallen across the road. So I went and got my chainsaw and came out here and started trying to clear a lane so people could get through.
Ivy and Huffman say they're used to the trees falling in the middle of the road during stormy weather, but nothing like this.
I've been out here 9 years, and it's the most eventful that I've been through so far.
Huffman and Ivy both say the community has been nothing but helpful during the cleanup process.
This is my first kind of big storm in the area, and just how friendly everybody is about coming together and helping one another. At Bristol Motor Speedway, Natalia Hillen, News 5, WCYB.